Once we finish laughing about those stories that we share between each other about the craziness of processes within organization, let's just stop and actually unpack it. Like, when did we become so okay and expectant of ludicrous processes? I'll give you a Let me just give you an example. Follow the bouncing ball. Years and years ago, closed a credit card. They didn't close it on time, which meant my credit record shows 3 missed payments of $4 for 3 months. The bank reversed the fees and we got on with our life. Anyway, a few years later, when I applied for an investment property loan, despite every other tick in the box about being able to get this loan, there was a blockage because I showed 3 missed payments on this credit card. They couldn't proceed without a letter from the other bank saying that they were going to remove those 3 missed payments from my credit history, and it needed to be on their letterhead. Easy. So I've gone back to the other organisation and said, explain the situation and how I need that letter. They explained it was going to be 30 days. 30 days. I said, I haven't got 30 days. We've got a bid on a property. I kind of need it like yesterday. 30 days. Would not budge. Not one instance. I've gone back to the other organisation and said they won't budge. They're saying no, they won't budge. They've done it. They said 30 days to put it on a letterhead. But here's the evidence. You can see that the 3 fees charged. And then you can see that it was reversed. And both processors said no. So we missed out on the investment property. It sounds funny, right? Because it's so ludicrous. But it's a reality of what's going on out there in our world. And I actually call this the exception theory in my book. So by exception theory, I mean that we have got so good at process mapping. And I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love a good customer journey map. Love it, love it, love it. And then we simplify those processes and we just make it so efficient that we can do even more things. And as a customer experience nerd, like that just lights me up. But we have to have the exception theory. You need to know what human event intersects your process, and you need to do something about it, because the amount of times and the amount of stories that are out there about how crazy this situation was because they just couldn't see past the process. Like, it's laughable, but it's impactful and it impacts lives. We missed out on a property, not the end of the world. But if it was something super important, life and death, and I didn't fit a process, yeah, I don't know. So keep sharing the stories. Keep laughing at the stories. But if you are in a role or in a position where you can actually challenge some of these processes, I just encourage you to do so.